The reason 20 million people took Vioxx and similar millions took Celebrex was because of the advertising. It's because consumers saw Dorothy Hamill skating around on their televisions in those Vioxx ads we've all seen that so many people took Vioxx. So that's a perfect example of how drug advertising totally skewed what drugs people took and how much they paid. Because Vioxx was many, many more times more expensive than a bottle of ibuprofen, which for most people would have been just as effective, and not only would they not have paid more, they wouldn't have been at heightened risk for heart attacks.
If there's anything in American or Western society that sort of dominates our cultural life, it's advertising. Advertising costs millions of dollars for the Super Bowl, for a minute. And the reason it does is because it works. Because by spending a few $1,000,000 on advertising, you make billions of dollars. And the drug industry is very good at advertising.
The ads are so beautifully designed to create an emotional connection and a sense of needing these drugs that they really capture a lot of people's interest.
God, you can name all these drugs nowadays. You would never, 10 years ago, you couldn't name, unless you were prescribed that prescription, you could not name a drug. And now you could name 10 off the top of your head. Isn't that crazy?
There is evidence that the best advertised drugs to consumers are the best sellers. No surprise.
So drug advertising is really skewing the market and how much we pay. It's not going to go away. I think that's very unlikely, but it needs to be much more strictly regulated.
When President Bush first came into office, there wasn't an FDA commissioner, and he appointed Daniel Troy to be the chief counsel of the FDA. And one of the first things he did was make a rule that all of the advertising infractions that had been responded to in a matter of days previously, because the committee that looks at them, the division that looks at them, would send out warning letters or sanction letters, all of those problems would have to come to his office. And the delay in sending out warning letters, meaning protecting the public from ads that cross the line, that in some way misrepresent the drug or overstate the drug's benefit or understate the risks, was grossly delayed.
Right now, the FDA does not require drug companies to submit television ads or any other drug ads before they air. They only have to submit them after the fact. So the ad will already be on TV or in a magazine. And the FDA, if it eventually gets around to doing something about an ad it considers deceptive, may be too late. Representative Henry Waxman has done studies about how long it takes the FDA to act on deceptive advertising, and there are very lengthy delays. Usually 4 to 6 months, I think, is the average. By 4 to 6 months, many of these ads have stopped running. The damage is done. The expression is closing the barn door after the horse is gone. Well, the FDA is, at best, shutting the barn door halfway after the horse is long gone. So we need better enforcement by the FDA of direct-to-consumer advertising, and we also need more disclosure within drug ads of exactly what the drug is for, what its risks are, who it should be used by, and basically fuller information so that people can make an intelligent choice. Right now, drug ads are basically a shameless promotion with a little bit of risk information at the end that frequently people don't understand, or that's obscured by graphics, sounds, things going on in the commercial that make it hard for people to take in that drug information.
I think it's really short-sighted to think that this is a matter of bad drug companies or bad people pulling things over on us. They're doing what they're supposed to do. If we want it to be different, we have to insist on it. And the ways in which we insist on it is multi-pronged, but it includes our government. Of course it does. Right now, our government is not terribly interested in making any reforms that would be useful because they're very beholden to the drug companies. If we want to change that, we have to make them beholden to us. We have to have the clout and the influence in the organization to make it that they can't blithely go along making the FDA be something that has been widely and famously called a servant of the drug industry.